All right, here we go. Module 1, Lesson 9 problem set. Make sure you have the things that you need to succeed. All right, we're going to solve and then write the sum in standard form. Standard form is pretty much the number that we regularly see them in decimal form. We'll use our place value chart to understand how we're going from unit form to standard form. So as a little refresh, right here we call these 1/10 plus 2/10. The way this is written is unit form, and then we'll convert it into a regular number. So we're off pretty easy. We got 1/10 plus 2/10. So how many tenths would that be? That's actually going to be 3/10. And 3/10, if I placed it on the place value chart right here, that means as a decimal standard form, we're going to write it as 0.3 or 0 and 3/10. 1b, 14/10 plus 9/10. So we need to figure out how many tenths would that be. So adding 14 plus 9, that's going to give me 13. So I have 13/10, which means if I put 13/10 on the place value chart, that 1 needs to come over into the ones column, and that 3 stays in the tenths. So we have how many ones? We have 1 ones. How many tenths do we have? We have 3/10. So as standard form, we write it as 1.3. 1C, 100th plus 200ths, that's going to give me in unit form 300ths. That means I put a 3 in the hundredths place value chart. I need to add a 0 in the tenths and the ones. So standard form, we write it as 0.03. 1D, 27 hundredths plus 5 hundredths. So how many hundredths would that be? 27 plus 5 would give us 32 hundredths. So this is 32 hundredths on the place value chart. As you can see, the 3 needs to come up to the tenths column, and the 2 stays in the hundredths. So, and we need to put a 0 in the ones. So that means we have how many tenths? There's 3/10. How many hundredths? There's 2 hundredths. So as a standard form, we're going to write it as 0.32. All right, we're going to skip 1F and we're going to go over to 1G. We've got 6/10 plus 3 thousandths, and they want to know how many thousandths that is. So we're going to use our place value chart. This one's a little tricky. It's not as easy as the ones we did up above. So 6/10 and 3 thousandths. Let's put 6 in the tenths place value. And let's put 3 thousandths below it. So we got to figure out how many 6/10 are out of thousandths. And so let me give you a little hint. We would normally fill the hundredths as a 0 and the thousandths as a 0. So 6/10 also means 60 hundredths, which also means 600 thousandths. So those zeros have no value, but you can figure out how many thousandths, hundredths, by adding zeros to the end. So now we've got 600 thousandths, which also means 6/10, and we're going to add 3 more thousandths to it. So that means we are going to have 603, oops, wrote it on the wrong spot. Let me write that on the right spot. 603 thousandths. So I'm going to write the answer down here, 603. That's the sum of 6/10 and 3 thousandths. And as a standard form, we're going to write 0.603. All right, let's go over to 7 ones, 2/10 plus 4/10. So let's go ahead and put 7 ones, 2/10 on our place value chart. 7 ones and 2/10. And let's add that with 4/10. And they want to know how many total tenths is that together. So let's take our 7 ones and 2/10 and let's actually bring that 7 back to the tenths to the 2. So 7 and 2/10 also means, as I erase the 7 ones, also means 72/10. So 72/10 plus 4 more tenths would give me 76/10. So if I write 76/10 on the third line, now as standard form, we need to bring the 7 back out to the ones. I'll erase it from the tenths to give me the standard form of 7.6. All right, so we're on to number 2, and number 1 is all about using kind of our number sense to add simple numbers, but we're not going to normally do unit form like that. We're going to go towards the standard algorithm that you've been learning in all the other grades that you've been into. When we add decimals together, we want to make sure that the decimals are always lined on top of each other. That keeps all the numbers in the right place value. So we're not going to be using our whiteboard to add. We need to show our thinking on the space provided. But I do want you to understand that when I write 1 and 3/100 and I add 8/100, notice that when the decimals are lined up on top of each other, it keeps everything in the right place value. So when you write this down on the paper, we need to make sure that we're writing it so that everything is lined up in the correct place value. You also should remember from previous grades, we start with the lowest place value. So we're going to start with the hundreds. We're going to add here. We're going to have to see if we need to regroup. So 8 plus 3 is 11. So we are going to have to regroup, and then we go to the tenths. We've got 0/10 plus 0/10 plus 1/10. So that's 1. We need to write our decimal point in our answer spot. And then the ones, 1 ones plus 0 ones gives me 1 1. So our answer is 1 and 11 hundredths. So 1D, some people, when they actually write standard algorithm, they kind of line it up from the left to the right. And once you do that, you can see the decimals are not lined up, which puts the numbers in the wrong place value. So this is what we do not want to do because the decimals are not lined up. So I went ahead and erased and put them so that the decimals are lining up. And I'm going to quickly add from the lowest place value, which is the hundreds. So 8 plus 3 was 11. And then our tenths, we've got 0 plus 0 plus 1, that's 1. My ones, I got 7 plus 2, that's 9. And then the tens, I have a 5 tens, and there's nothing underneath. Technically, there is a 0 right there. So I have, and my sum has a 5. So I have 59 and 11 hundredths. All right, turning the page, doing one more problem, letter F. We've got 85 and 703 thousandths. Then we have 12 and 197 thousandths, and we're adding those together. So my decimals are lined up. I'll go ahead and put pause and write the actual problem on my problem set. Okay, so here's our problem. Our decimals are lined up, so every number is in the right place value. And we're going to start with the lowest place value, which is the thousandths. So 3 plus 7, that's 10. We're going to regroup. We're going to bring down the 0, put a 1 in the hundredths column. Then we've got 9 hundredths plus 0 hundredths plus 1 more hundredth. That's going to give us 10. So we're going to have to regroup. And the tenths, we've got 1 plus 7 plus 1, that's 9. Do a decimal point. Then we got in the ones, 5 plus 2, that's 7. And then in the tens, 8 plus 1, and that's 9. So we have 97 and 900 thousandths. But guess what? We don't need to write these last zeros. These last zeros don't have any value. So we can say the actual sum is 97 and 9/10. So problem number 3, we have a word problem. Van Cortlandt Park's walking trail is 1 200 kilometers longer than Marine's Park. Let's circle in 1 200 kilometers and let's box in longer than Marine's Park. The next sentence says Central Park's walking trail is 0 242,000 kilometers longer than Van Cortlandt's walking trail. Fill in the missing chart below. Okay, so as we're looking at the chart, we're seeing that, oh, we know how long Marine Park is. Now, I think we're given a clue up here where it says Van Cortlandt's walking trail is 1 200 kilometers longer than Marine's Park. So that means if it's longer, we're going to be adding. So we're going to take Marine's Park, we're going to write 1 2800 off to the side, and we're going to add 1 200. We're going to quickly add those together. Remember to start in the lowest place value, which is the hundreds. So 8 plus 2 is 10. Regroup. We got 0 tenths plus 2 tenths plus 1 tenth, that's 3 tenths, plus, at our decimal point, plus 2 ones. So looks like Van Cortlandt is, remember we don't need that 0 in the hundreds place value, is 2 3 tenths kilometers long. Now for Central Park, the clue was Central Park is 0 242,000 kilometers longer than Van Cortlandt. So we already found Van Cortlandt, so we need to add 2 3 tenths. And then we need to make sure our decimals line up, so I'm going to make sure that I put my decimal place right there, and there is a 0 in the ones column. There's a 2 underneath the 3 in the tenths column. Then there's a 4 and a 2. So we're adding those together. So that tells me that in 2 3 tenths, we need to add a 0 in the tenths, a 0 in the hundreds, so that we can keep everything lined up. So I start with the thousands, and I go ahead and do 2 thousandths. 0 plus 4 is 4 hundredths. 3 plus 2 is 5 tenths. Decimal point, and then my ones, 2 ones plus 0 ones is 2 ones. So right here, Central Park is 2 542 kilometers. And then 3B, it says if a tourist walked all 3 trails in a day, how many kilometers would he or she have walked? So if they did all 3 trails in one day, to figure out how many kilometers she walked or he walked, we're going to add. Now you have options. You could take all 3 decimals and add them together, or you can add 2 together and then add the remaining 1 to the answer to the first 2 that you added. I prefer to add 2 by 2 or 2 first, so I don't get mixed up with having a lot of numbers stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to do 1 2800, and I'm going to do 2 3 tenths. I'm going to add a 0 in the hundreds, so everything's lined up. And I'm going to add this one quickly. 8 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 3, that is 5 tenths. Add my decimal point, and then my 1 plus 2 is 3. Giving you guys the answers too early. Now I'm going to take this 3 5800, and I'm going to add it to the last number that I have. So if you're choosing to add all 3, your work must be shown. If you're doing, adding 2 numbers together, just make sure all of the work is shown to prove that you're doing the work. So I have 3 5800 and plus 2 542 thousandths. I need to add a 0 in the top number in the thousandths, so everything is lined up. And thousandths, I have 0 plus 2, that's 2. I've got 8 plus 4 in the tenths, that means I have to regroup. 1 goes up on top, 2 comes down. 5 tenths plus 5 tenths plus one more, that is 11 tenths. So I have to regroup. Decimal point. And in the ones, I've got 3 plus 2 plus 1, and that's going to give me 6. So here's our answer. But we're not done because we're asked a question. That means our answer must be written as a sentence. So please try to squeeze in wherever space you guys have a complete sentence answering the question. A sentence we could write is a tourist would walk 6 and 122 thousandths kilometers in a day. Remember, every word problem, when we underline a question, that our answer should be written as a sentence. So the answer is not going to be just a simple number. It's going to be a number with a description of what that number means, like kilometers in this example, and then it's included into an actual sentence, which means we're using the question from the word problem back into our answer. All right, that is a lesson 9 problem set, and I will see you on lesson 10.